Hey everybody, I'm Tim Ward and welcome back to Garden Sense. Folks, the emails slowed down a little bit last week, but we still had a number of them that were concerning specific types of yard weeds that folks weren't able to identify. I did get a bunch of emails about folks using that weed identifier over on the website, so that's always good to hear. We also had a couple of questions about some possible over-fertilization that was occurring. So in any case, let's buckle up everybody and jump right in. The first question is from Leslie. Hi Tim, I have a weed in my lawn which just won't die back. I have sprayed it with a weed killer, Weed Be Gone, at least 3 to 4 times, and it just seems to continue to spread. Can you please take a look at the picture below and help me determine what kind of weed it is and what will kill it? I should mention that it usually has a small yellow flower. So this particular weed is called creeping wood sorrel, and I'm not really surprised that the Weed Be Gone didn't work. I would actually step up in terms of the product, the quality of the product that you're using, and I would actually try something like VPG Fertilome's Weed Free Zone. It specifically lists creeping wood sorrel as a weed that it will kill, and again, it's a very highly effective product. It's a little bit of a higher end product as well, especially if you're going to buy the concentrate that we sell over at rosensonline.com. But that's exactly the product that I would recommend for taking out this weed. Again, it can spread very quickly. It kind of appears almost viney, and it spreads oftentimes underneath the blades of grass, and so you can actually end up with a pretty widespread infestation of that weed and not even know it because it's not visible for a while. So again, head over to rosensonline.com, pick up VPG Fertilome's Weed Free Zone. You'll be glad you did. The next question is from Stan. Tim, my wife accidentally dropped a bag of Turf Trust 10M professional starter formula on approximately 4,000 square feet. Will this kill the lawn? If so, is there anything I can do to minimize the effects? So obviously putting down an entire bag of fertilizer that's designed for 10,000 square feet on a 4,000 square foot lawn isn't ideal. Fortunately, you were using Turf Trust, and because of that, I don't think you really have anything to worry about. Yes, you absolutely over-fertilized, and the worst thing that's probably going to happen is you've wasted some money because, again, you've put in so much nutrition on that lawn that the plants, the grass in this case, simply won't be able to absorb it all and use it all. So you've just wasted some product. Now, the reason that I'm not concerned with it burning your lawn is simply because of the way Turf Trust is formulated. It utilizes a bunch of different types of nitrogen, and of the various nitrogens that it uses, over 50% of it is what's called slow release. And so it actually feeds your lawn very slowly and very gently over the course of up to 13 weeks. And because of that, it's just simply not gonna burn your lawn. Now, here's what I would consider doing. First, just to make sure that there aren't any clumps or section of your lawn that is very heavily fertilized, walk around with a leaf rake and just look. Make sure if you see any clumps that you rake it out, or if you see some of the granules that look like they're just sitting on top of each other, just try to rake it out and spread it out as evenly as you can. The other thing you can do is actually run a sprinkler, or again, start watering your grass a little bit more frequently. All that's simply going to do is, cause that fertilizer to break down a little bit more quickly, so it's not simply gonna sit there as long as it normally would. But again, if it were me, I wouldn't be worried about burning my lawn again because it's Turf Trust, so add some extra water to it, get a leaf rake and spread it out as best you can if you find any clumps. But again, just make sure that next time we're not putting down an entire 10,000 square foot bag on your lawn, and you should be okay. The third question is from Don. Hi Tim, I've battled this weed in my lawn forever. Seems to like hot weather and full sun. Somewhat woody in texture. It laughs at multiple applications of Weed Beater Ultra applied correctly. I'm wondering if I can fight it better with a properly timed application of pre-emergent. So this weed is called Lispedza, and as you are finding out, it is a tough little weed. Now, I am a little bit surprised, to be perfectly honest with you, that Weed Beater Ultra didn't work, because again, it actually lists Lispedza on its kill list in terms of weeds that it could handle. So the fact that it's not working right now tells me that we just need to simply change tactics. So you could try a Fertilome's weed-free zone. Again, it lists Lispedza. You also may want to try a granular. Bonide's Crabgrass Plus is a really, really great product. And again, it lists Lispedza as one of the weeds that it will kill. Now, typically, you know, we like using concentrates or sprays as opposed to granulars, but given the fact that Weed Beater Ultra didn't work, you may want to just give that Crabgrass Plus a try. I've had a lot of success with it for various things. Again, its you know, primary focus is crabgrass, but it does kill a bunch of other weeds, and if you pick up a bag, you know, you'll see Lispedza listed right there. Now, you mentioned using a pre-emergent. What you want to do is actually make sure you get down dimension early next spring. So if you can kill it now with, again, something like that Crabgrass Plus, or again, maybe pick up Fertilome's weed-free zone, if you can take care of most of it now and then get dimension down in the spring, that should really mitigate the problem that you're going to have with Lispedza in the summer of 2024. The last question for today is from Dean. Tim, the plant in the attached photo appeared in a small number last year, and I used the Weed Beater Ultra to assist in control. That took care of the top leaves, but the plant roots apparently supplied sufficient nutrients that the plants have survived and expanded significantly. So just looking to ID the plant and find a way to kill it. So this is dock weed, or sometimes just referred to as dock. And it's very common, especially in woodsy areas. As you're experiencing, you can kill off the foliage really quick with something like a Weed Beater Ultra, but it's getting to that root system that can be really tough. So ideally what you want to use is a combination of a pre and post emergent. So what I'd actually recommend is, you know, you can certainly continue to use the Weed Beater Ultra to try and kill it back. Again, I mentioned it in the previous question. You may actually want to try Bonide's Crabgrass Plus. It's a granular, and it will actually also kill dock. However, the big thing you want to make sure you do is get down gallery in the spring. So if you can kill back, you know, again, the foliage of those weeds now, and then obviously winter hits, and then we can get down some gallery in the very early spring, that really should help your problem. Again, dock is a tough weed. It's a weed that spreads very, very quickly, and again, specifically in more woodsy areas, or if you get soil brought in that is maybe pulled up from an area with a lot of woods in it, it's a pretty common weed. But again, it's absolutely able to be controlled. So again, continue to use the Weed Beater Ultra and then get down some gallery, or switch it up, try that Crabgrass Plus, and then put down some gallery in spring. And again, all the products that I mentioned are available over at rosensonline.com. All right, guys, it's a quick hitting show today, but just a couple final thoughts. We still have the Turf Trust Fall Feeding Frenzy going on over at rosensonline.com. So hopefully by this point, everybody's done with that third feeding, and we are now looking ahead to that fourth and final feeding. And guys, this is that fourth feeding really is the most important feeding of the year. Why? Because the grass is going to stop growing, and it's going to take all that nutrition that Turf Trust provides, and it's actually going to store it into the roots of your grass. That's going to strengthen the roots, which is going to promote long-term health. And then what's going to happen is, come that springtime, when the weather starts to warm up, all that nutrition is going to be released and available now to the plant, and you're going to have a beautiful green lawn much earlier in the springtime than a lot of your neighbors. So again, head over to rosensonline.com, pick up the Fall Feeding Frenzy before it's too late. Now, we are really into fall at this point, and we need to start thinking about if we have any deciduous trees that we really love, that we really care about. And if we do, we need to make sure that we are giving them Plant Trust. Plant Trust is specifically formulated for trees and shrubs, and it works specifically very, very well on deciduous trees, which means you need a fall feeding for those. And now's the time. So head over to rosensonline.com, pick up some Plant Trust, and you will be glad you did. Folks, if you have additional questions, comments, concerns, and you want to reach out to me, please send me an email. Send it to tim@rosensonline.com. I try to get back to everybody within 48 hours, but if it's a little bit longer, be patient. If I have received that email, I will be getting back to you, I promise. Thank you so much for all the time that you spend with us. It means a lot to us. We are getting so much feedback on the show in terms of just the quality of the videos, the content we're providing, and it really means a lot when we hear back from you guys, telling us what a great job we're doing, but also giving us some tips, some pointers, anything like that in terms of ways that we could improve the videos. That feedback is always welcome. I hope you folks have an amazing rest of the week. God bless.